Hi, welcome at RoboFlow Quickies. I am Peter van der Poelen and I'm going to show you an example of database publishing with Canto Cumulus using RoboFlow, XSLT style sheets and importing XML files, tab-limited files and exporting assets and XML and SQL and creating finally a report. A PDF report, a PDF publication. In this example, the customer wants to export to create a PDF of his clippings that he scanned, articles from magazines, information that he gathered about products, and he wants daily, monthly, weekly reports about the latest articles. So he has the possibility to make a selection in the web, or they can make a scheduled selection that automatically every first day of the week or every first day of the month or whatever creates these reports. The layout will be based on XSLT style sheets using xsl-fop, but you could just as well be using InDesign and Easy Catalog or Smart Catalog, or there's plenty others. The result will be a PDF that could be mailed and once again is connected again with the information inside Cumulus, so that you could automatically get the real asset, the real PDF inside Cumulus. Let's start with the Cumulus catalog. So as I said, the customer has catalogs, and one of the catalogs is a clippings catalog. He made a category tree containing business unit, competitors, market, period, source, product, language, country. Several categories that he is assigning to these documents. These documents are scans. It could just as well be product images or whatever assets that you are managing inside your Cumulus database. In this case, we're talking about articles that they scanned. If we look inside in the information window, we see that these categories were attached to these records. So they're easy to search, but now they want a report in the end bundling a group of articles together about the same subject. For instance, everything about ventilation or everything about projects. So what you could do, for instance, is create stored queries. You could create stored queries that are called, for instance, clipping projects or clippings ventilation. You could add parameters to that it gets you the reports of the latest month, the last week, etc., etc. So you could have also free selections. So the customer, for instance, in the web, let's open the web, can have his clippings catalog in there, and the same images are in here. And he can say, okay, I want to search and collect, or he can just say, okay, I want a predefined selection, my stored Cumulus queries. So as I showed you in the client, you have these stored queries, and when I'm selecting, for instance, projects, he's finding only the clippings of the projects. As I said, you can do whatever search you want. You can put these in the basket and finally order them. The result would be that behind the scenes the report is created and you can receive an email. How does this work behind the scenes? Well, let's have a look. Here, if we look in the tool that is automating all that, called Canto RoboFlow, if we have a look, we can have, for instance, a workflow that processes these requests from the web and stores that information in the Cumulus record. I'll run the scheduled one. Here's the possibility to say I want this report every week, another report every month, etc., etc. So this particular workflow has 2 reports in its request. If we quickly take a look what they are, I'll open the folder where we defined them. So I have scheduled requests, and all this is just a very simple text file that says, okay, this particular one, this particular query, this is the name of the report, this is the style to use. You could, for every report, have a different output, a different style, and this is the person to notify when the report is ready with a link, a direct link to that particular report. So what happens if we run this workflow? Of course, this is normally running on a schedule every day, every month, every minute, whatever. It has processed this. It goes very fast. And if we have a look, we can see inside Cumulus that, for instance, for this record, if we look in the information window, there's a field called export process. And for this record, it added an export group ID test, the style, the status, and who he has to notify. If we look a bit further, for instance, this one was in 2 selections, so he will be in both reports, etc., etc. So the next step is that RoboFlow will export this information to an SQL database, and he will also prepare the assets to be used in the report. Depending on your report or your publication, you might want big images, small images, landscape, or whatever. So RoboFlow using Cumulus can prepare that. That means that in the workflow hot collection export image, he will export the image in a predefined format that you want to use. So I'm going to start this workflow, and now he's going to roll the records that were selected, and he's going to create these export files. We can see that in the folder. So if we go back here and we take a look at the images, he is creating all the images in here so that we can use them later on in the publication. While he is doing that, we have a little bit of time, because it takes a little bit of time to convert all these images. We have a little bit of time to take a look at the XSLT. So this is the layout. There are plenty of tools out there that enable you to create this in a GUI, but this is just an example of how this works. So for instance, this document will automatically create a URL link in there. We will see that link appear below the image. So we have here an image, a JPEG that we're going to use. We have different fields that we have added. They are all coming from the XML that was created. So if we take a look how far he got, he's almost ready. And now he's starting with the second production. You remember there were 2 productions, and so he has now finished all productions, and he has exported the information to the SQL database, any SQL database that you want, and he has also prepared the images. So the next workflow will now create the XML file. Why do we take the step in between with the SQL database? This makes it more flexible, so you can add from whatever other system you have any information that you need. So he has already finished with the XML file. So if we take a look, we can see that the XML is now waiting for us. And there are actually 3 XMLs waiting for processing. So if I ask RoboFlow to create them, maybe we'll have a quick look inside before running them. So if we take a look, we can see that this has a reference to something that came from the web. And if I take a look at this one, we can see that this has the reference of that test 1, that was that scheduled task. And this will normally be test 2. And you can see inside that it has all the information about the records. So we exported all that information, and from this information now he will automatically create the report. So the final step, we click on Start. This workflow now will create automatically these reports for us, the PDFs, and send an email automatically to the person that was specified for that particular person or persons for that particular report. So if we now return to our folder, the XML is gone, it's processed, and if we take a look at the result, you see there's already plenty of results, but at this moment he created these 3. So if I take a look in the last one, here is the report he created. You see, he added the information, and we just said, okay, we want 1 report, 1 article per page. You could have, if it's products, you could have whatever number you like. But what is very cool about this is, you remember that we had this website in Cumulus to access that. Well, let's log out. Let's leave that. We don't need that. We're not gonna have that open, but from within that particular PDF, you can say, okay, I'm interested in this article, this product. Well, this is a direct link into your Cumulus, and that will open your PDF, for instance. It can bring you to the record, it can bring you to the preview. We chose that he had to bring us to the original file. Well, here's the original PDF. So we created a report with a direct link to the original asset. You see? So it's that simple. All that is done just using RoboFlow and Cumulus and xsl-t to create the report. That was a little example of database publishing. As I said, you can use any publishing tool you like. The basic idea is you can import information into Cumulus using RoboFlow. You can process it, export it to SQL databases, export it to XML, and you can use RoboFlow to create automatic reports, automatic publications, PDFs, whatever you need. I hope this was interesting for you. If you want more, just let me know. Have a nice day. Bye.